we're still on the old story of the plummet, I thought I'd show you this, a little blast from the past, a relic of Finland.
Oh shit, puppy.
The Finnish steel that courses through my fucking veins and my leg. Crutches that I actually think I was supposed to give these back. Don't know. I think you said that they expected me to bring them back. But anyway, these are not just ordinary crutches, folks. These are fucking. These have mad adjustable spikes.
Prime quality.
Yeah.
Oh, aye. Where does
Triangle.
that? So it points downwards.
Aye, so it's now at the bottom of the crutch. For
Oh, aye.
so handy also in Helsinki and Finland when the snow is knee deep, but also taken into Glasgow on a Saturday night.
Aye.
Just in case. So I've still got them. Pretty cool.
Some rat tries to mug you outside the palace, man. Thinks you're a cripple. You're fucking Batman.
Some guy
Ratman.
steal your chippy off you at fucking 1 a.m. in the morning. No chance of that happening with these spiky crutches. Oh shit.
Did they give you a good quality sticky, like what do you call that? Leg cast?
A cast. I was quite impressed with the cast. It was like one that came off and on kind of thing, and I got to choose the color and shit.
It came on and came off and came on again.
Take it off, put it back on, take it back off again.
Obviously, just wanted to mention, if anybody happens to listen to that story, they don't really know the true pain and the agony. Not to mention the rehabilitation and the dwell and the years of fucking regret and post-traumatic stress. But that's how it goes.
Thousands of tax paying euros.
That's kind of fucked up, isn't it? I think there's people that spend tax money. I mean, that's definitely bad. Like, people paying tax just so you can jump off a bridge, but people do that shit all the time. And then it's funny because I was going to say, like, we should avoid talking about the old pandemic, but it's unavoidable at this point.
Talking
so sick, like,
when
you meet some, huh?
Talking about tax paying dollars and shit, or the money that will be going back into the furloughs and all that.
Anyway, it's tax, and I'll give you that. But it's like, it's one of the things I was thinking that we could like avoid talking about the corona and all that shit, just because I'm so sick of, like, you see somebody and it's all it is like constant, like, moaning about the restrictions, the next level of lockdown, and everybody's like armchair fucking scientists and professionals and all that, and it makes me, like, literally makes me sick to my stomach. And just actually, what kind of, I don't know if you've heard anybody say this, but see people that say stay safe, like, stay safe everyone. You heard anybody say that?
Oh yeah, every day.
Oh my, like, literally, I could vomit when I hear somebody say it. I'm just like, oh my god, man, stay safe. Like, how infanticized does a culture need to be? Like, can you imagine during the Holocaust or some shit, like Jews like hiding under the floorboards, like, stay safe, man. They probably never even said that to each other, just like because they're going through such hard times, and people are like sitting on Netflix with their frozen pizza, like, stay safe, man. It's like, makes me sick.
Some guy drops off a Domino's and, like, he fist bumps, like, stay safe, pal. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay safe while they take a taxi to a protest and shit. Stay safe, man. But,
Holocaust and shit and other fucking actual times of hardship. Like some 10-year-old's away to collect a couple of pennies from his grandma, and it's like the last time he might see his family, because if he gets caught, he's fucked. Like, stay safe.
You're going to the gas, you little Timmy. But it's crazy, man. Like, this stay safe, everyone. It is so easy to stay safe. Obviously, like this is just the culture and society, like, minimum effort in all domains. So you don't have to do anything, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so good at doing nothing," and that goes out like see when it comes to like people that put stay at home in their Facebook profiles and all that, like unless they're like family members and all that or whatever, I just want to delete
I know.
them.
I know.
Delete. I want to block them or fucking delete them. Like I don't mind like the concept, but this like taking the easiest route to like participation of nothing, like it makes me sick. But
I know.
it's funny
This
because
is why,
go for it, go for
this
it.
is probably why we should have probably avoided touching on it, because it's like an endless pit of tangents and rants, and
I
it's just like a pure moany thing. But I don't know about like in Helsinki and shit, but on the radios and stuff like that here, we've got like these fucking ridiculous messages. Uh, like, could you look a bus driver in the eye and tell him that your travel is essential?
oh my
like,
god,
I mean, like,
that's on the radio and shit. My god, man.
it's on the radio and the new, adverts and shit, like in between programs and the TV and all that. But
What a
you're like, oh,
spunky giant man.
some 55-year-old woman's like wearing on a bus because she absolutely wants to be there. Like, oh, she's just, it's like 10 at night and she's fucking on a bus going through Campus Lang, like, you know what I mean? By her fucking
It's
own
my
free will.
it's my mom. Like it's pissing rain in November or something. She's got holes in her shoes and shit. And some guy's like, "Is your travel essential, hen?" It's like makes me sick.
Can
But
you look in the
when you
eye
think
and tell me?
it's
Oh,
speaking about that and like travel and stuff. This is I think I don't know if I told you about this. I probably did, but it was in the newspaper. Like the metro station that's across the road. There was some guy like he turned out to be a teacher, but he was off duty teacher. Kind of doesn't matter that he's a teacher, but well, it does kind of matter. He goes up to like a group of youth, let's say, that are loitering and weren't wearing masks, and he goes up and says, "Helsinki is mandatory masks or whatever," and they just they just like spat on him. But it's quite funny. Like, I mean, I don't, I definitely don't condone that shit, but
no, I mean,
obviously he's a teacher in his day life, and he thinks he can walk up to a bunch of like teenagers and tell them what to do, and I'm just going to take it. But
I
uh,
know.
people, obviously, those children have other issues if they're spitting on people. Let's say that this area there's a few reprobates kicking about, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll say nothing else in the matter. But
I've
and
met
I
them.
don't know what's that.
I'm saying I've met them. Yeah.
No, the reprobates. You are one with them. And no, but like, don't mean. It's funny also to like just talk about it and like kind of. Obviously, I'm just joking and writing the piss and all that kind of shit. But like the pandemic was something that I was thinking like, how long can we go without talking about it? And
I
then
know.
it's also juicy, like just I don't know people's behavior and fucking the judgment from everybody. Like, oh, it's so funny.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You get to see like different sides to everybody, with people family, friends, and all that. People at work and shit, and then like things like this, including like the way we're talking. Probably you'll have somebody else going like, "What the fuck do they Tadgers know?" Like,
Mm.
um, people will become like they know something. Like all of a sudden, like it's like politics and all that. People just jump on a side, and then all of a sudden they're experts
Oh, big
in
time.
either like the government and the news is absolutely correct, or they're like absolutely wrong, but people
Mm.
choose like a side and they're not like like they just dig their heels in and they know very little about anything really. And I admit, like, we know nothing, you know what I mean, but at least we can say, well,
Right.
the noise surrounding the situation is like absolutely like silly and stupid, and people are just fucking like off their heads kind of thing. But
But we start from a point of saying that we don't know, and like we're just kind of rolling, like we're coming along for the ride. We don't like say that this is how it is, this is how you should act, and if you don't act this way, we're gonna like judge you and shit. We start from the point that we know nothing, and we like to like go kind of we get automatically rip the piss out of things and go kind of satire and shit. So like rip the piss say things that are like we don't actually mean. Like I could say that fucking throw children down the wells and gash them and all that, and obviously I'm joking, but
Oh yeah.
and there's people like they go hardcore, man. Like it's just makes me sick. Like people, the judgment and oh my god, like obviously that's an extreme statement, but like the people that are kind of taking pictures of like people on buses without masks on and all that kind of shit, they see themselves as like the righteous and stuff like that, but in actuality they would be the people that fucking they would be the people that fucking rat you out and get you
Oh,
gassed.
oh,
Definitely.
if you were a Jew, they'd be ratting you out, you know.
Oh, aye, they would inform. They would inform, and
They'd be
I've seen this in my personal life. People just like taking pictures of what, metros and shit like that. Like, where's your mask? And it's like, my god.
Well, but then people can have like, asthma and all that, and get off with wearing masks and shit. Is that not right? Like, so.
Apparently, I mean, I wear a mask because it like apart from but it does cost money for a mask, like a box of masks. So it costs money, but the cost like to my life is minimum. Like I'm not gonna like wearing a mask in a metro and shit. I don't care, but so I wear masks like for that kind of stuff. But people
Aye.
are just like going off the rails, you know.
It's funny when you obviously like I still live in our hometown. So I see like the old faces and all that. Like going down Helsinki and seeing like 10 different people that you remember from growing up and shit like
Oh,
that.
mm.
So you don't have that anymore. You're a loner, an exile. You have no one. But like the mask thing is funny because like I wear a snood, and typically a mask I cover like half your face anyway. So sometimes, or I wear a hat as well, not because I'm cold, because I'm bald, but you can still recognize people. Like, so you see, like I saw somebody earlier who I won't name, but like I just seen like the shape and the beard and coming out of the snood like thing, whatever, and you're like, you just recognize people even though we're basically in disguise, like we're wearing balaclavas, like we look like we're in a western, we could like have a shootout in Asda or something like that, but you
Oh,
can still
aye.
like build shapes and tell who people are and all that, even though like it's kind of like the Middle East where like our eyes are kind of depending on the weather, we're just wearing like fucking stuff that's covering 90% of our bodies.
It's funny that, and you must imagine, like in war times and stuff. Like, obviously, you can tell the difference between the enemy and all that. Be like, even with chimpanzees and shit, like they don't look
Ooh.
that much different, but somehow they know. They look at some guy, he's like, he looks like the inbred guy if you're up the road,
Oh, aye.
walking to the key store. Oh, sure,
Oh, no.
hellbillies. But I often think about that. Like, not often, but I've considered that a couple of times. Like, I look
Every
in the
day.
mirror. I look in the mirror and be like, what the hell have I become? Like I'm sickened by the sight of me, and then I think like how can someone like 'cause I moved away, like obviously you're there, so they kind of know what I must look like, but they're like if I imagine to myself I moved away 10 years ago, so how could somebody possibly recognize me? Like if I'm walking down the street, like I don't look like me at all. I'm like a goblin creature of the night, but that's how it goes. Aging, you
Shadow,
know.
shadow of your former self. No, that's true though. I like we at least you've got that where we kind of represent each other in the different societies and colonies.
I was thinking that maybe you should get a T-shirt made that says something like Johnny looks better than this or something like that, just to so people know that I don't look as bad as you. But you
Or
know,
just not Johnny. I'm not Johnny. That would be good.
I no, but I need people. I need people to know that if you look bad, I look better. You know.
That would be lying. That would be a lie.
Well,
No, I'm not going to just
I
start.
love the way you lie. We'll probably avoid abuse. Imagine we just started abusing each other for real. That'd be funny.
Oh,
But this, I mean, people are entitled to their point of view and their opinions and all that. I'm just waiting for this to unfold. I don't have any like, I don't give a shit really, but judgment can leave people. That's why took a break for Facebook and shit like that. Just complete brain damage. It was funny because I was deactivated my Facebook for I don't know a while, and then I only reactivated it to like get this podcast in the go, and find myself like logging back on and looking at it just now and again, and like my brain is dying. I can feel like this negative impact already, just for like even like 5% of the amount I used to use it, and it's like, oh god, I can feel my brain being melted by people. Hell
Every
is our people, as they say.
everything you refresh the page.
Yeah. Aye, that's probably. I mean, the pandemic is the pandemic after all.
As you say, it's like it's not really any real impact on you, like putting on a mask and all that. So that's fine. It's just that there's like a mentality kind of thing that bothers me. You know, like this, like get in line and roll up your sleeves and bend over and let me stick it in your ass, like that kind of. Uh,
Uh,
I don't like the fact that the news can, like the TV can tell me on Friday, I can't bathe with my uncle, but on Monday I may bathe with my uncle.
I
So like,
know.
where's the difference like in 2 days? That's just kind of
Oh,
trivial.
it's these like. Oh, well, I mean, that's a whole other point, and we'll move away from the pandemic in a second. But that's it, man.
Yeah.
Like people, it was always cool, right? This could go like many different ways, but it was always cool to be critical and to criticize. I always critical, criticize the government and hate the government. That's what all the bash bands were like. You know, these anti-government bands and all that kind of shit. Uh,
Mm.
it was always cool to be critical of the government, and now it's like suck the government's dick and these arbitrary rules, like you say, like you can bathe uh, bathe with your sister on the Sunday and you can't bathe with her on the Monday. You know what I mean? It's fucking brutal. But this, these arbitrary times and universally across the world, it's just showing like mass incompetence. And but
Mhm.
we'll go through, and if
We,
you can
we'll,
go through,
mhm. We'll
we'll
be
survive.
called arseholes for that. But hey ho.
Oh well. We'll put a phone number that people can call into the next show, even though this is not live. We'll make it live if we. Can you imagine that'd be pretty cool if we made this like like a call-in show? The abuse.
That would be quite good. We could look at that. Colin.
That must be pretty complex. Oh, wait, no, you could do that. You've got the cool podcast set up shit.
Oh, aye, that's
You
right.
just need to make me hear it.
We just get loads of prank calls, like people calling us Jedward and all this shit, baldy fucking mole rats and stuff.
Oh, aye. It is the
Oh,
season. It is the season for Mallrats. But speaking of seasons, it's finally the 8-month winter here is finally ending, so that's pretty good.
did that not come a bit later than normal this time?
It seemed like the winter was ungodly length of time.
Like Game of Thrones, winter is coming for 8 seasons and still coming.
This is the opposite. Winter doesn't leave, but really bad. Like it gets so depressed and shit like that. That gets me thinking. Like probably because there's such an emphasis on seasons here, like because they cherish like the winter leaving here. It's like as soon as the winter leaves, like it's like a ritual that people come out their homes and start to enjoy the weather and shit. And they got like people. Me and you are what we might call as uncultured in the way of food. Would you agree with that?
Oh, big time, big
Big
time.
time. I'm probably a wee bit more cultural these days since I've been about the block a wee bit. But here, what do you think about like? Well, you probably don't think anything about this, but like seasonal food, like food that you only eat during a certain season. You probably don't even understand that concept.
But McDonald's is open all year round.
That's true. That's true.
That makes no sense. For me, then that's the problem, though, is it not? That everything's just available all fucking year long. But it would make sense that as a species, we eat certain stuff at certain times when it's available in the nature. You know, back in the day.
Of course, that's why seasonal food is seasonal. But the here, like for example, will be. I was at like Johanna's mum and dad's like at some point months ago, and the conversations they have compared to like if in Scotland, you have you're at a table and people are like talking about like the best eckies in tune and all that. They're talking about like the new potatoes, like literally like the new potatoes that are being sprouted and all that. And it's like it's pure crazy. Like, and then people posting on Facebook, like there's like cakes that people only eat during a certain month or 2 months or whatever, and they're available the whole year, but they don't eat them. And I'm just like, it's really fucked up for me. Like, I just think it's really strange, and it reminded me of like in work one time, like it was like summer, and some 5-year-old started singing Jingle Bells for Christmas,
Right.
and some teacher like said, uh, like, it's not Christmas. We're not singing Christmas songs. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and then I got me thinking, like, they're not allowed, 5-year-olds are not allowed to sing Christmas songs in the summer, but they're basically allowed to, like, say that they want to switch their genders, no? But anyway, that's a cancellation right there. But anyway, but you take them seriously in the biology, but you won't let them fucking sing a Christmas song in the summer. I mean, man.
I remember, Sonny, you mentioned like Christmas. It reminded me of something like inappropriate times. I remember in high school, I went through like a phase and I wore like a red jumper, and I remember one of like the teachers like giving me into trouble, and she's like, "What is that you're wearing? Why are you wearing a red jumper?" But obviously, you're supposed to wear like the school uniform, which is fine. But these days you kind of, I don't even know if you need to wear a uniform, like. But they kind of, it's so touchy. Like, can they challenge the kids for not wearing uniforms if they can like come in wearing like a wig and high heels if they're or as they go to like boxing or whatever, or like they can chop their fucking balls off and leave them in the
Chop
canteen.
their balls off at supper. But well, we don't have uniforms here, like, so I don't know about that. But that's fucked up. You have the funny legendary story, like, no one can tell if it's true or not. The one where the janitor at our primary school, like, basically, what was it? She allegedly said this is
Oh yeah.
alleged. What was it she said?
Oh, aye, that's right. So this was primary school though. So like, I don't know if like this was one of these things where I was a kid and I just dreamt it up, but I'm pretty sure she like I'm pretty sure she said something like, you know, like I was disgusting and my family was disgusting. Maybe she was just referring to you, both of us, but maybe she wasn't as harsh as that. But when I like remember telling the story back to like my mom or something, I felt like she'd spat on me and shit. Like, but but she never spat on me. But I remember she said something like, "Oh, you're disgusting." I think I spat on the ground. I was like 7 or something, and I'm pretty sure, or 8 or whatever. And she said something like, "You're disgusting. Your family's disgusting." But I don't think I don't. Surely she never said that, but she get like into trouble, and I remember getting pulled into like a room and with the head teacher and stuff, and
I was dragged in. I was like, it's funny because I wasn't even part of that shit.
I basically like I had somebody like a wee guy that I hung around with at the time who he was corroborating this story of mine, like even though I have fucking no clue. Like I hope that she was a bit of a bitch and she deserved to um get sent to the gulag or crucified for that. But like
Well,
I don't know if she did actually say that in such harsh words or if my brain just heard it like that. But I remember like she was getting into trouble for it, but she ended up there for years and fucking she was.
you could probably track it down and strangle her with a belt or something.
Oh, I should. But I sometimes like see, as you say, like people maybe recognize us and shit or whatever. Like if I seen her, I wonder if she'd be like, 20 years ago, you fucking falsely accused me of rape. But no, falsely accused me of touching your ass and shit.
Speaking
But
of primary school, was it this? Do you remember this actually? Like in primary school, same janitor. So the janitor that allegedly said that you were, what was it, disgusting, and the whole family was disgusting. She like looked in and she saw me like beating the shit out of you, like just stomping on you, like beating you to a pulp like a little bitch. And then she watched it for a good amount of time, like she as if she was enjoying it. She was enjoying you getting mauled by me, and then she dragged me away and took me to get disciplined, but then just put me in a cupboard and like forgot to come back for me. So I was there for like half a day in this cupboard.
Aye, aye.
And I was
That's
just
funny.
sitting in this cupboard, and it was like the mop cupboard as well, with mops and shit and wet cloths and all this kind of shit. Like a single, just a single cupboard where you couldn't exactly sit down or bend my knees, but just stood
Aye.
there. And then
Well,
the end of the day bell rang, and I just like opened the door and like left.
you're chewing on a mop at this point. You've been there for like 5 hours and you're starving.
I was slowly, and my skin was like a uniform was starting to
Uh,
grow. And I was becoming part of the fucking staff, man. But
uh, th-
yes,
this will probably give away her identity, but I don't know if you remember, she was a line dancer.
I do.
So like she would do all the fucking line dancing and teach the kids how to line dance and all that, and they come in a big gymnasium hall and all that, and get everybody dancing and shit. I bet you like while you were stuck in the cupboard, fucking starving for like 4 hours and shit, scared, alone, she was like in the
Hmm.
gym all doing her like line dancing and shit, like, like totally
She was doing
forgetting.
a line, I'll tell you that.
She was doing a line. Aye, I'm surprised she never came back and did a line off your fucking arse.
Oh, it was definitely a smooth arse back then. Not so smooth these days, I'll tell you that one. But and the line dancing was shit as well. It wasn't even that good. Like it's just the only person for 5 miles that could line dance, and kind of funny. Like utilize the staff members that you've got like in your school, and like so the whole school had to learn how to line dance just because somebody in the school could line dance. It's like
Aye,
what the fuck's that all about? Fucking
aye, aye.
crazy, man.
Oh no, it's the same with all that kind of shit. Like one of the other uh, head teachers went to Africa or something like that, so we had to listen to her fucking shitty stories about Africa. It was like we like just because you're doing this in your life, like doesn't mean you can indoctrinate and teach the students about fucking some shithole you went to in Africa. You know what I mean?
Aye, that was funny actually. Like they just impose everything on us. Pretty funny. But that's how it goes, primary school. That was a bit of a little random segue there.
I know, but before not I've got props this time. This episode I'm improvising here, but I'll not
Aye.
go into it. But just talking about the old primary school, I found this little what was it, porno, but it's not. It's a wee autobiography that I did when we were like six. What is it? Like seven, primary seven, whatever that is. And it's me and
Aye.
you,
Oh,
two,
aye.
two, two little
You're a
chubs.
you're a sexy wee thing, ain't you?
Oh, oh yeah. And inside there's like hand drawings and like little Dragon Ball T characters and little stories that I'll save for another day. I could probably
Dragon Ball
take
Z
away.
characters that the drawing level has not improved since then.
Well, some of the wee drawings and shit were ahead of its time. Maybe you'll get like Goku wearing like little cami suits and I get writing and stories around about it. So, but that's probably my intellectual best back then.
Well, it was probably the last time you wrote a sentence.
Probably.
But I kind of brought a prop as well, man. Like, funny you mentioned it, but I was going through the cupboard like 2 days ago, and I found these pictures that the children that I used to work with, um, they drew goodbye pictures of me. I'll show you if you want. Check this shit.
Oh, hit
This
me.
is back before I shaved my head as well. It's not they were not merciful in their drawings.
So this is drawings they done of you. Oh Christ.
Oh, aye, that's me. So this is a farewell. It says Mr. Jonathan on it.
Mr.
The owners of the place I worked were like one of the owners was Filipino, and I think in the Philippines they like say Mr. First Name. That one's a bit merciful.
That's a thumb.
Aye, this one. And there was like 14 of these, but I'm not going to show you 14. That one's this
Would
is
you take?
this is actually before I shaved my head, but I'll show you this one again. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, aye. So they drew this all in the same day, or what? Or what?
I don't know. No, I didn't. I didn't ask them to draw. I got this as a gift. I don't know how long it took them. Probably took them a fucking semester.
Had you been taking heroin at that time?
Definitely.
It looks
My
looks
teeth
that
were
way.
my teeth were falling out as usual. But that was funny.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, you should set them on fire on the pod for a laugh.
Aye, but then I'll probably burn my flat down.
Aye, true. Moving on.
But that's pretty funny. What else is fucking? The clock is ticking again. What?
I keep forgetting to put the heating on, so I'm sat here and then I can just feel my balls shriveling up and the coldness setting in. But hey ho.
Do you see the jar I'm drinking?
Oh aye.
Last time I was my beloved Viking coffee cup smashed into a million pieces.
Oh, that's gutting.
Oh, big time, man.
How long is that you've not had alcohol?
No, very long, man. Just a few months.
Just a few. I'm gonna have a beer here. So this is for you and anybody abstaining from drink or recovering alcoholics.
You shake it before you. I think it's a couple of before the pandemic hit. I was like 6 months with booze. I just like to take breaks. I'm not saying it's forever or whatever. I would like to see how far it goes, but whatever. See how it goes.
Alright, man. We're getting old.
Clear the old brain. There's certain points like with this course, people, if anybody actually watches this, don't need to know the details of my education path, but I like to stay clean and sober for that shit so I can be a godlike student, which I am. God. But
I have like 5-10 beers and that will be me hungover for 4 days. Which is always good because on Monday I need to be on my toes and tap dance.
It's funny because with like these sort of like throughout the year, there's like points where when you have like tests and deadlines and all this kind of stuff. Like I'll have these hard, difficult times where I get past it, and I'm like, I just hear this wee like internal voice saying like, "You deserve a beer, man. You deserve a beer." And then I'll think to myself like, "Oh, I could just after this, I could drink some beers and shit." And then I realize that's like exactly what an alcoholic would say. Like the body's just making excuses, like, "Oh, you should drink," but see how it goes. At this point, I'm just kind of, I don't know. Give me some ice cream. I'll take that.
Alcohol, the way I'm feeling, it should be more of a punishment. Like, oh, you're bad, so here you need to drink this bottle of rum and feel terrible for 4 days.
It's funny because we get pretty bad hangovers, but so we don't drink every day and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure if we did, if the hangovers were non-existent, I'm pretty sure we just drink every day because it feels so good. Well, yes, but hey ho, that's how it goes.
If there wasn't any alcohol, hangovers or fucking mad side effects,
civilization would be fucking in the dust.
Broken homes and families and shit. Oh, I would get on today.
But then again, it's funny because during the pandemic, it's been pretty easy for me, like just to kind of focus on things and stay away from booze. But the winter's so long and all that, like you don't really feel like it's dark days and all that kind of shit for long dark days. And then, as you know, that the summer here is so beautiful, like you just so tempting just to go to the beach and stuff. Like so many beaches, so many forests about that you can just have cans and shit like that.
Aye.
So I'm not big on bars and all that. Like, I don't care a shit about that. But hanging out with people and drinking some beers, taking the hammocks or something like that. That's the bollocks. Makes me like put bollocks in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, dangle them in there. There is something about the weather, sun, and all that. I don't know if it's like Scottish people in general and stuff. They kind of flock to like beer gardens and shit. Some people aren't, aren't like that, but many people are. Like the missus was like, "Oh, the weather's getting better, so I'm preparing for you to be like going out more." Like, is that what's happened? Like,
comes back to the seasons, man. Potato season.
Like Superman gets regenerated when the sun is like on them kind of thing, and me and you, when the sun touches your face, we just get that fucking like craving
The
for
fever.
the liquor. I
Aye.
I am the liquor.
Well, I think if you manage to come here in the summer, like I don't know, just drink some beers, it tastes so good, feels so good. Take the those electric scooters, man. Those 10, what was it, €10 for a whole day? Just scooter around the whole
Oh,
of
aye.
Helsinki.
I'll describe this quickly. Although people know what they are, like they're not solely in Finland, but Europe, I've got them. I've never seen them
Mm.
in Scotland. Like we've got the bicycles, like those yellow bikes, like in Glasgow and Edinburgh and all that. You can just go and you like pay and take it away and bring it back or whatever. But anyway, like those electric scooters, like high powered, like solid scooters, you pay like €10 for the entire day, and you can go up to like collection points, grab like any scooter. There's like maybe multiple scooters. You get an app on your phone tells you where they are, and then you just go and get it. And then you can drop it as well. You can like take it somewhere and drop it anywhere as well. You can leave it in a bush or throw it in a river. Well, somebody will come and get it later. It's fine.
And people
Screw
do,
that.
people do.
But oh man, that was epic. Like just pure scooting about in those things. But
Aye.
and with all stories, sorry to interrupt you there, Ferry, but like all our stories, the good part kind of spiraled into chaos and madness. But what can you say? What can you do?
It always does become a bit a story of misery and pain. No, it was good. That was a really good time. Uh, it's under
Well,
like the sunshine here is so good. And
oh, it was
basically taking the scooters for like where I've moved since then, but like taking the scooters from there, like literally the whole journey into the city was so good. But the time will come again.
well, that was good because we were like for years into the city. We were basically going like the train route where a train would be. We could kind of see that like long roads across bridges and shit. And it was like they're pretty fast, and it was like lovely weather and all that. Excellent. I think it was when we got into the city and we were like trying to go from like a bar to like somewhere else, and we're like fucking get a scooter or whatever, and we ended up like sharing.
Aye.
Well, remember we ended up like um we ended up like what yours ran out of battery, so
Mm.
we ended up just jumping the same one. I remember we going up this like hill, and like it was like because we're too heavy. Like there's a guy like walking like faster than me. We're like both
Oh
standing in
my
the
god.
and we're like,
Ugh.
nah. But it was pretty cool. Like apart from that, even when we were both on it, it was pretty fucking sweet, man.
Aye. That was good. And hopefully in the summer, man, and come back.
I know. It's crazy that I was over in August, like last year, and
Mm.
it was like kind of absolutely normal, and it's like full circle. Like,
It's funny because like the Finland was apparently doing really well and all that. Like it was being praised by everybody, blah blah blah, like doing really well, and then suddenly now like it's getting stricter and stricter restrictions, less like kind of retarded incompetence compared to the UK, but still
mm,
it's like it's funny because I don't understand how there can be restrictions since Christmas, like getting gradually stricter, and then the situation's getting worse. I don't know, like what the fuck. There's something complex that people are like. People went in holiday in the winter holiday. They have a winter holiday here where people in February where people go like skiing, and people are like, people went skiing in the winter holiday and it's a super spreader, even though I'm pretty sure people go skiing outdoors and up in these areas, like it's a very, it's not
mm,
exactly going to the cinema and or going to like a concert or something like that. It's like much
aye.
different, and people are just like, that was a super spreader event. I'm like, I mean, that was a super spreader, fucking shut it.
I know, and this is where we're like jumping in and try even. It's dangerous even commenting because you're like you don't really know enough at all. Like what the fuck we talking about? You know what I mean? But I would imagine like as soon as you like open up some doors and things start to pick up again and ramp up, like
Hmm.
people acting again, even if it is like slightly, then you're going to see some sort of like increase. You know what I mean? Like I saw something earlier. It was like in Scotland or the UK, and it was like, oh, young teenagers. There's like a rise in their cases and shit. I don't know if they're still at school actually right now, or if they're just shagging in the woods. But they like there's been an increase anyway. But it's like imagine if they're like back at schools or whatever. Like, of course, there's going to be an influx. You know what I mean? Just let them
Oh,
run with.
and obviously not good in the rabbit hole, man. And
I
like,
know.
if we need to put small print in the YouTube video, like, whatever we say here, we don't claim to know better than anybody else. We just accept the ignorance and the lack of knowledge, and we just go. We are going to, like I said earlier, we're just going along for the ride. So fucking hold your horses in the comments if you're ever going to comment on the dislikes, or or if somebody's going to grass you up for threatening to strangle that janitor with a belt. It's all jokes, everybody. Well, it was
Yeah,
me that said that, so you're. It was me that said that, so you're fine. But I like obviously we're. It's just nobody knows, and who gives a shit really? Like, but like you said, if we lock down and stuff every time there's a spike, then we're never going to reopen. So
I know.
that's how it goes. And fuck
If you
it.
if you leave your house in the morning, there is a percentage of a chance more that you'll die by some cause. If you had just stayed in the house, you may have not died. Or you stay at home and you drop the toaster in the bath.
Someone like the buttered bread in the fucking bath in the shower.
Who knows? Who knows?
I think your clock is ticking, is it not? We'll wrap this
Uh,
up.
we'll just wrap this big bitch up. But
Wrap it up. Next thing there's technical issues and there's time restraints, but we
yeah.
need to see how it goes. Yeah.
And we'll promise not to linger too much on the old Panda Romeo, and
Open them.
we'll get some more stories on the go. More
Um,
self-destruction and agony and misery, those types.
we need to have a talk about these people shagging bats. But anyway, till next time.
Take it easy.
Peace out.